Jim? Okay. Let me see. Testing, testing, one, two, three. Okay. Okay. You can hear me? Great, 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 great. Okay, good. All right. Yeah. So if you have any questions as we go along, please feel free to write them in the box. Thank you, Dana and Jim. And as I said, I don't have anything specific planned. So what I will say is that you may get out early, you may get out late, depending on how questions go. But yeah, good to see everybody here. So um, if you want to throw something at me, if I can't answer it in this session, um, I will I will I will do my best to answer. Then I'll bring it back. I'll bring the answer back to you next semester. What's my favorite color? uh, I think it's forest green. Right. I wear a lot of blue, but my favorite color is dark forest green. I would say if I have a color, and I answer that, but probably Laura would probably be a better. Laura probably knows the answer to what my favorite color is better than I do. But I think if I were to answer that question, um, my favorite color is forest green. Looking for an alternative to Bonjoro. Wondering if I have any ideas. Yeah, I use, as you know, I use Vimeo, and I just in these days, quite honestly, tell me what you're using Bonjoro for. And for Jim has asked the question for those of you who are you may be watching from a distance. He's asking the question about a service called Bonjoro. Bonjoro is a service that allows you to send personal videos, and so you can record them right from your browser. You click a button, and I think that Bonjuro's claim to fame is that it integrates with some of the other systems. So you can connect your autoresponder to it. You can connect your support to it, and I have used it in the past. I primarily use Vimeo now, and a number of you have probably received a video from me from Vimeo, and I also have the same service available to me using Searchy. I don't use it as much, and mainly because I don't want to have two or three of these things in the browser, which leads me to believe that if you are, I'm going to take a look at your answer here in a minute, which leads me to believe that if you are using it to send personal videos or a support element, that you could use Loom just as well. And let me see. Okay, yeah, let me see if I can unmute you there, Jim. Let's see how I can get you there.
I'm
Uh,
unmuted.
you should be unmuted there, Jim.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, the answer to your first question was forest green, correct?
Yeah, no, I think that's what it is. Now, as I said, Laura will be able to answer that better, but I think my favorite color is forest green.
Great. That was my random question for the day. Okay, so I use Vimeo. I mean, I'm just lazy, I'm being honest. I'm lazy. I don't want to like shoot a video and then upload it to create a landing page and then send a link out to everybody on my list.
Right.
I want something that I can do bing, bang, boom. Hey, this is
Mhm,
Jim to Jim. Buy this product and then click a
mhm.
button and it goes out. So, I mean, can you do that with Vimeo? Does it have that kind of feature? Like when you say, or the other thing you said is Loom, that's important because that's cheap and that's easy. Um, just before I got on the call, I was on a web page that said 15 alternatives to Bonjoro, and Loom was one of them. And I've heard people say that's good for short videos. I know it's like $9 a month, which is cheaper than Bonjoro. So back to the Vimeo. When you say Vimeo, how do you use that in lieu of Bonjoro?
Well, I use it for a lot more than that. So if you have seen my If you've seen, so the videos that I put in on my sales pages that autoplay, those run in Vimeo. So I put those there, and as well as any sample video. So that's primarily what I have used it for in the past. And so I have an account that I have been paying for years. And so it's just part of that account. And so because I have all the space in it, I pay for it every year. I just use it there. Now, if I was not paying for Vimeo, so if you have a Vimeo subscription,
I do.
then it makes sense to just put the web browser piece there. If you put the web browser camera um, app there, you can record yourself. So Vimeo has it runs in your browser. I think it's called a browser extension. It runs in Chrome, it runs in Edge, it runs on all the browsers, and you can run it in there and you can turn your camera on, you can shoot the video, it connects to your account, and then you can just send out the link from your account.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay. All right.
so if you have that already and you don't use all of your space, that is the way I would use it.
Yeah, I don't know exactly, but I've got the pro version or something. I pay, money every year, whatever we
Yep.
pay for that.
Hmm.
You probably have the super duper pro version, but I've got something like whatever it is, I don't know, 500 a year, it's a couple hundred, several hundred a year. So
I
yeah.
would use it. Yes. Yep.
Okay, sweet.
Without
So,
fail.
so you know what? I'm waiting for my sister to pick me up, and then we're gonna go downtown, my twin sister, and I'm like, I'm gonna hop on this webinar. She could be here any minute. But I'm so glad I did because you just saved me from I wasn't planning on being on tonight, but you just saved me like 25 or $29 a month from Bonjoro, some of the thing. I mean, what you just described is perfect.
Hmm.
All
Yeah,
right.
just put the browser extension in and you connect to your account.
Okay, thanks so much, Charles. You're the best.
Yeah, right on, man.
Tell
Thanks,
Laura I
Jim.
said hi.
All right. Helene, do you want me to unmute you, Helene? Or you just want me to answer your question? Your question is, where do I do you just want me to answer your question, Helene? Your question is, where do I suggest you upload? You want me to unmute you? Okay, sure. Okay, yeah. Let me close Jim um off and then let me turn you on. And let me see. I think just turn Helene on. Uh, okay, Helene, you should be able to turn on. So I think if you're turned on, you should be able to talk.
Hear me now? Can you hear
I
me
can hear
now?
you. I can hear you perfectly, my
Hi,
friend.
how are you?
I'm good, Helene. How you doing?
I'm
Good to see you.
good. Yeah. So,
So your question is about where to put your videos. Do I understand that right?
Yeah.
yeah, we're both.
Hey, this is John Rotnam
Is that
here.
John? Hey,
Yeah,
John.
that's John. Yeah, but I guess the question was, do we purchased most of the AI courses that you were doing,
Hmm.
and we're looking
Yeah.
at putting them up on System.io, setting up
Hmm.
a sales funnel there.
Hmm.
Where do you suggest we host the videos that we put on the system there?
Well, if you do you are you using a paid account in system.io?
Not,
We will be.
yeah, not yet. No. Oh,
Well, I would suggest two things. First,
yeah.
if you're going to pay $27 for system.io, I would suggest you become an ultimate insider. I'll give you a
Okay.
platform and then you can put them there. That's first off. That's what I suggest
Right.
primarily. Secondarily, you host them on system.io. So you're just going to upload them to system.io. And that's where you host them. You need to back them up someplace, you
Okay.
know, so put them in, back them up in your Google Drive just in case something happens, something goes sideways, you give a link to your customer like immediately, but you're going to host them in system.io.
Okay.
Okay.
And then if we set up ourselves as an insider, you have a platform that's for System.io? Is that what you're saying?
It does, it's the same thing. It's go high level. And so
Mhm.
it allows you to set up all your courses there and to stream your videos from there. Same thing.
Okay. Does that
And,
often,
and put your sales pages and the whole thing. Doesn't cost anything extra other than what you would pay
Mhm.
for the membership.
the
Oh,
membership to you and then the upgraded system idle?
Right. Now you're not necessarily paying for the platform with me. What you're primarily is,
No, no,
everything that comes with the
I
membership.
understand. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, if we upgrade the system IO, we have that plus the insider.
yeah, they'll do it inside.
Well, okay, so I will provide you
Mhm.
share codes to system.io. I don't provide system.io.
No,
I
no,
provide a platform. But yes, you're right. So I think you have it right. You can either do system, and I think the lowest level is 27,
right.
or you can
Yeah.
just or you go with us, and then we'll give you the platform along with the content and the other stuff, right? And you have access to Laurel and I.
That's
Make
So,
sense?
oh, so then we wouldn't need the system IO setup.
You would not,
We
sir.
go with the insider.
Nope, you would not need it.
Oh, wow, that's
Okay.
awesome. I like
All right.
it.
That's easy
Oh,
enough.
that's cool, yeah.
It's not been our best month. We've had part breakdown and inspection due and
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
hit with a bunch of stuff. We had all kinds of plans for this month. We were all pumped up. And then all the extras hit.
So, but
But
That's
we'll be fine.
that,
Oh, cool, you
well, that's what
answered. Mhm.
it only happens when you don't need it to happen.
I know, right?
amen, amen.
Oh, you're so awesome. We love you. You're so great. You're so amazing. So knowledgeable and
Well,
wonderful.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Thank you, Helene.
Nice talking to you. Yeah.
You too, guys. Good to hear
I
you.
wish you a happy Father's Day tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
Thank
right.
you
Happy
very,
Father's Day.
thank you. I appreciate that. All right,
Okay.
we're gonna turn off
Okay.
your mic, and I think let's see, Santu has her hands raised, and let me see if I can get you. Uh, where's Santu Carter? Oh, okay. Do I have you on, Santu? All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Good to hear you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. I just put in the chat, I arrived slightly late and I wondered if you might repeat what you and Jim were talking about because it sounded important. And my apologies if it irritates anyone for you to kind of repeat that, but I would like to hear what I missed. And
No, Jim, Jim, what he wanted to know was he was looking at a service called Bonjoro, and Bonjoro allows you to shoot little quick videos and send them personally. You send a link. And Bonjoro connects to autoresponders, it connects to support, it connects to Zapier, does all that fancy stuff. But if and so the reason I brought him on because I wanted to ask him, well, what are you shooting these personal videos for? And so he doesn't really have anything that he needs an automation to do. He just wants to shoot them, send them to when he's doing a promotion, send them out to do his list. And so I suggested that he already is paying for Vimeo. He's already paying for that. So because he's paying for that and he has excess capacity, right? He doesn't use all the space in there. I suggested that he use that account. So any account, and even if he was not, let's say that he did not, he could use Loom, and a lot of people would probably opt for Loom because I know Loom is either I think it's like $9 a month, and it might even be free in some cases, where you can. It's literally made for that to shoot a video, send it out to people, and then that's it. So that was Jim's question, and that was
Okay.
my answer.
Let me just add a couple things. Just what I know about Loom is that I think you can also track who opens those videos and watches those videos. But there's another software I wanted to tell people about, which is called vidtags.net. So VID tags, TAGS.net. It's an app, and you can record in there, and it stores your videos so that you can embed it in your website or wherever. But it also, and it will timestamp for you and create chapters. But the exciting thing for me is that you can upload your own video, or you can upload a YouTube video, and it will then create a link for you to put somewhere, and it doesn't populate with other crappy YouTube videos at the end. So it just kind of uploads the video that you want people to see without the other little squares that pop up at the end of it. And when you're, wanting to post a professional video somewhere, you don't want people distracted with other videos that YouTube suggests. So, to me, that's very exciting and why I bought the app. It's a one-time lifetime fee for this app, which I've found on AppSumo. I don't know if they're still selling it, but AppSumo tends to sell apps that are very similar to each other, but with different names. So
Mhm.
if VidTags is not available, just type in VidTags in the search and it will suggest similar products to you that is available on sale if VidTags has finished
Yep. Cool.
selling. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay. Is that it, Santu?
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Good chatting with you. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? I wondered if we were gonna have. Let's see. Somebody's asking me, is anyone here? Yes. I think it says Clower. Yes, I'm here. So I typed into the question and answer box, but yes, we're here. Yeah, Bonjoro. I used to use Bonjoro. I was kind of for I went through a phase, and but Vimeo, I pay for it anyway. I use my sales videos for Vimeo, so it was like double paying, and I'm probably triple paying anyway because I use Searchy. I could do the same thing with Searchy. So, uh, and Jim got out of here before I was able to ask him if he's going to do Aweber this year. Okay, yeah, I did see that uh BC Stack. Uh yeah, I have been I will say, yeah, I will say that you know um my good friend Chad asked me this year to do to be in I think it was his stack, PLR stack. And I have been uh and I promoted it. I decided not to be in it, and and uh 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 and I promoted because I know Chad personally. I don't know the people who do BC Stack personally, so I probably wouldn't recommend it. Now, if I get to know them at some point, then you know I'd be more comfortable. I don't know them personally, so yeah, no, yeah, I don't know them yet, so I'm not ready to promote them personally. I knew Chad, so I did it for him, but I really um, big stacks are very difficult. And yeah, no, Helene, I know, I remember you were in there, right? Um, uh, what I'm going to be doing, what I'm going to do next time, and next time when Chad does this next year, is really do something a little more elaborate on kind of how to manage that whole process, because it's good to be in it. To actually get it um, can be distracting depending on what a person is doing. And so I've always said that if I if I recommend it, um, yeah, see, it's not it's less about managing the pieces in it. It's um, it's really staying focused on like the one thing that we kind of talk about, which is building up and marketing a learning center. And so I try to stay on message. And I know everybody and their mother is. I know my good friend Connie. She's behind it. There are enough people who are behind it, and probably everybody who's watching this right? They can get that stack from somebody who's really good. I know a lot of people watch Connie, a lot of people watch Tiffany. I think she's behind it. And so yeah, so it's a good piece. I don't promote it because I don't know them personally, and I'll probably never meet them. Um, but but you've got to be really focused to manage a stack, and it's very difficult not to be distracted. It's just difficult not to be distracted and not have it. Um, and so most people, and you've got to be really focused in general to navigate that and not be thrown off. And I know that personally from experience. And so probably if it wasn't, if I didn't like and have as much respect for Chad as I do, I would have even promoted it. Um, but you know, just because it was him, I did. So yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, and I'm not a big. I'm not looking to get into the stack. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. I looked at it a couple of times. I know it's a big deal. They do it every year, and it's probably phenomenal. But it's got a lot of stuff in it, and the lot of stuff is the issue, right? The lot of stuff. And so I really try to keep one message, and that is for people to build a recurring income and to niche down and to build a place where people can come and get their stuff and to market it, right? And that's I've been saying the same thing pretty much since 2020. I try to do everything toward that, and because for those of us who have a few gray hairs like me, um, you know, we have to make the most of not just getting customers. And so and I said this actually in my email today. So it's probably a good segue. And I'm not going to keep you all on here all night. The vast majority of discussion that happens in our space is about how to get customers, right? And so everybody and their mother can teach on that. What I've tried to do since 2020 is not just be about how you're going to get a customer, but how you keep them. And so, and that takes it takes phenomenal focus. It takes a lot of trial and error, and and so I think what happens in our industry is I again, and I fall into it all of the time, is we gravitate toward systems and things to get us more new customers, as opposed to getting really good at working with the people um, that are coming to us. I have, and so I've really tried to gear my discussion and my promotions and everything toward building up a place where you know you get somebody, you can keep them, because the older we all get, and this, and I'm not saying anybody's old, I'm not saying, you know, I'm not saying you're old, I'm old, anything like that. The older we get, we have a finite amount of information, and what information marketing does is it pushes us toward a grind in thinking that we can continually work on getting new customers, and we can't do it. I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't care what anybody. So if you get so if the focus is always getting new customers and not on keeping them, then then eventually just burn some out. You got to get more in. That's exhausting. And so at some point, again, the older we get, all of us have to get better, really good, and develop platforms, develop resources to keep customers. And so I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone. I'm saying that that's been my focus, even though, yes, we sell PLR. And I don't even like, as I said in my email today, I don't even like the word PLR for what I sell. Yes, you can use it as PLR. Yes, it functions like that, but it's really designed for you to put in a learning center and for when a customer comes in there, that you can keep them, right? And so the very nature of I think what all of us have to get continually good at is not just marketing the new customers, right? And not just marketing new customers, but the best customer is one who's already bought something. And once you get them, is hanging on to them. Doing workshops. We do these DFY live masterclass workshops, and I give those to people, right? Um, Not necessarily to sell as direct response webinar. They're designed for people to do workshops, and they don't want to talk. They don't want to train. And I get that. Not everybody wants to get on the camera. Not everybody wants to get on live and do that. That product is specifically designed to for people to do their own workshop, or if they don't want to do it, to let my voice play. Right. So there's nothing personal. There are no personal references in there. That's really what's designed to do, because um, in the age of AI, we have to differentiate, and we're going to have to be present in a way that information can't be present. So information is not going to keep your customer. Uh, you know. So yeah, no, and Miles is right. I mean, retention is the magic to long-term success. There is no magic bullet. Sustainable competitive advantage is really developing a really unique way of keeping just figuring out how you deliver value to people continually, right? And so some of it is self-discovery, some of it is kind of figuring out like who we all are, and once you kind of figure out who you are, how you deliver value personally, and then using that to keep people, right? To continually provide value over and over again. There's like this, there's a balance to it. And I learned this, I learned this back in, mm, I learned this from multi-level marketers. And there's one guy who was different from these other guys, right? And he was not necessarily uh, a super great multi-level marketer, but he was involved in the industry. And what he figured out was that if he could provide websites, and he could provide tools, he could provide people, and he provide the training, then at that price point, he would have a lot of people and keep them forever if he took care of them. Right? It was he's how he was able to approach the business, and he was able to provide value. And I thought, well, okay, well, that's really it made sense to me at that point. And this was years ago. And so I believe in that. I believe then that it doesn't matter what your price point, if you can figure out how you personally provide value to people, then it's really just a matter of doing enough launches, or um enough putting out enough bait to get enough of the right people who understand your value. So every time I make an offer to Ultimate Insiders, all I'm really doing when I launch, I'm not launching just solely for income. I'm launching to find new Ultimate Insiders. I'm trying to find the right people. And every time I get on an onboarding call to a person, I figure that's where I learn I found the right people. And so typically, the people that end up becoming our Ultimate Insiders, they're people who, if they were in my town, I'd probably have lunch with, right there. And I mean, and it just happens that way. But it doesn't happen because there's some magic process. It happens because I'm not really just here to try to do launches to get lots of new customers. I'm trying to get customers to keep and keep them forever. And if I can keep them, I'll get their kid. You know, when they get old, they die off. I want their kids, right? If I live that long. So, um, I think it is, I think it is and I've kind of gone on a tangent for a little bit, a little bit about this, but in any case, yeah, I said a lot of that in my email today, in my AM newsletter, and that you know we're really trying to help you to keep customers, and so that doesn't mean that you can't use our courses to sell on the front end. You can and you should. But what you really should be doing is putting all that stuff, all your stuff, and organizing it in one place. I've called it a learning center so that people can come and learn, someplace reliable, and that you keep them engaged doing weekly workshops, doing challenges, whatever you want to do, however you personally provide value. But the basis of it is you got one place where people come get everything. It's organized, it's personal, right? Because you organize it, you put it together, and then you just continue to provide value every month. I that that business model makes sense to me, right? And that's not to say that there aren't better business models, because I know some people, for them, um, writing Kindle books and just continually making them available makes sense to them, right? And so whenever you find a business model that makes sense to you, right, when you get it, when you can see the revenue and you can see how your effort translates into the revenue, I think you do that. But for most people, right, who have a few gray hairs, they understand the providing value and then doing it repeatedly and looking for the right customer. And so I don't teach anything any different than what I do. So everything I'm doing every day, you know, when we do launches and we do all this other stuff, I suggest people do the same thing. You continually make offers so that you can upsell people into your recurring membership. That's as simple as it gets, right? There's no other. I don't know of a simpler business model. And I know that there are more complicated ways. I looked at one of our, I looked at another thing today, that I can't remember, but regardless, that would be taking you down even a bigger rabbit trail. But any case, yeah. So Miles says retention is the magic to long-term success. I believe that. I sincerely believe that. Let's see. Okay, it's 7:33. I do try to get you all out of here at by 7:30. uh, so we're running dangerously close to going over. But if there are any other questions, I'll take them. Any other questions? Get response. I'm probably gonna do. I think I'm gonna do that for Tuesday. Here's what happened. There were two things. One thing with get response, they've really changed some things when it comes to setting up domains and landing pages. I couldn't get the domain to propagate. I had to get on with support, and it just turned out to be like longer than I wanted it to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and do get response on, I think it's Tuesday. I think it is. Let me see. And let me see. All right. Okay, Santu, you are unmuted.
Thank you. I'm developing a lead magnet for writing, uh, coaching people to write. And in the lead magnet, I offer like 4 different ways that people can work with me.
Yep.
And I'm thinking that it's probably a good idea to kind of start with a reverse chronological order. So starting with the most expensive package first, and then descending down to the free offer, which is a Facebook group. Is that the right approach?
Can be. Okay, so what's the off? What is the basic offer? So what are
Okay.
people gonna get?
They're gonna get, well, the more pricier offer is getting one-to-one coaching from me to write their manuscript. It's a memoir. I'm suggesting that they write the manuscript of a memoir.
Yep.
and it's a 4-phase program,
Mhm.
where I help them with extracting the core message,
Yep.
creating the outline, writing it, and then editing it for them. And I do the kind of secondary offer is that if they're experienced and they only want one portion of it, they can hire me kind of like as a one-off on demand kind of thing. They don't have to do the full program if they're experienced. And then the other option is that they can join a Zoom room with other people who are writing, and I'll give them prompts and they'll go off and write something, and then they'll share it with a group, and it's like kind of like a writing lab on Zoom. And then the
Mhm.
fourth option is the same thing but through Facebook. Like people can post things in Facebook, post ideas, thoughts, and they'll get feedback in Facebook, which is
Got
free.
it. So your question is, what should go into the lead magnet?
No, the order in which should go in the lead magnet. Like, do I start with the most expensive and then just as I described it here, the 4-part program, then the one-off sessions, and then the group writing, which is less expensive, and then the free? Should I kind of list these 4 ways of working with me in that order? So expensive to least expensive, or start with the free and then build it up, kind of reverse it?
I think if you're talking about, I think if you're talking about a higher ticket program, that I think you have to hint at it, and then because I think it sounds like you're going to have to close them on a call. Is that accurate, or what would you say? Are you going to close
Well, that's a good question, Charles. I hadn't thought about the closing part of it or how I'm going to close. I haven't mentioned anything about a free discovery call or anything. It just didn't enter my mind at the moment. But now you've got me thinking maybe I ought to. I mean, I do give them my email and say, call, reach out if you
They're
have any
not going to do
questions.
they're not going to do it
Huh? Oh,
because
don't do it.
no, they're not going to do it because
Oh,
um okay, unless you make them, okay, the problem you're solving, okay, is the problem you're solving, you cannot finish a manuscript, or is the problem you're solving, have you always wanted to write a book? What's the problem you want to solve?
right, right. So it's both really. Have you ever wanted to write, but you've had doubts or, lived in fear of writing a book, for judgment or fear of fame and all that kind of stuff. And some people never finish. They might start and they never finish. And what I'm offering is that if they want to have, counseling or therapy as well, if negative memories come up and it creates a writer's block for them, as it does for some people, especially those in grief, I can offer that as a side package as well to help unblock them so that they can start and finish their memoir. I get them results because I'm using all different types of skills to help them get there.
It really feels like to me that
Mhm.
that's somebody you're going to have to close if you're talking about something in the, you know, we're talking about probably at least $1,000, right?
I don't know. I haven't thought about the price point. Let
Well,
me
it's
just
not
do
going to be
some
cheap.
simple
It's
math.
not going to be cheap to work with you. It's not going to be like $10 to work with you. So,
Not one to
so
one. In the group
right,
it
no,
is, but
right,
not one to one.
right. So I think it feels to me like you can make the offer to everything except your higher ticket coaching, and maybe you make a low ticket offer in that in that um you send them to something low ticket, you funnel upsell them
Mm,
into the higher ticket thing,
mm,
and then you come down. So the offer that they click on and they go to should be low commitment.
right.
It should be low price, as low, and not when I say low price, I'm saying low for you. So if you got a bunch of corporates coming on there, if they're going to expect to pay, that low
Yeah.
ticket for them is $37. So whatever low is, so low ticket. So when they click on that and they buy it, then they should get upsold to the high thing.
Mm.
And then if they don't take that, say, oh, okay, well, we also have maybe, it was too rich for you, not enough commit, you don't know me yet. I'd like for you to help you to get to know me. You can do that inside of our group coaching. And then they say, oh, no, no, no. So they click off that. So, well, you already have our book. Probably the most dynamic way for me to interact with you on a less time basis would be our course, right? Our online course. Take our online course. I'll do a Q and A. You have questions, I'll be able to answer them. And so that's how I would step it down. So from the high ticket to group, then to information product. But then the first offer though is low ticket. So if that's whatever the low ticket is, it could be ebook, it can be an online course, it should be low ticket, low commitment, high value. So so it should be like, oh my goodness, I get all this for $9. I get all this for $17. Wow, I get all these bonuses. Whoa, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they get in there. So they may not use it, but they get in there because all you really want to do is get them in the funnel. And then it could be that you find that people are getting to that top offer and they're asking you questions. Well, that means then you got to try to get them on the phone and close them. And I would not want to do that because that's not been my strength. My strength is to train and close. Now, if I can get people in a room, or I can get people on a webinar, and I can train them, I'm pretty confident I can close them. I don't feel as confident about getting people on the call. So it's really where you feel the most comfortable delivering some kind of personal message saying to them, well, hey, I did all these, you're trying to do this, I've done that, I can get you here, I can help you take this step. And, yeah, I understand it. The best thing for you to do really is just to do my $1,000 program. It doesn't make sense to do otherwise. When you can make that pitch, then that's where you need to be closing. So if you do that better in training, if you do that better in the call, I think if you leave people on their own to make that decision, like if you told them the best thing to do is to get my high ticket training, you put that in ebook, they're not gonna call you because they have no urgency to do that. But if you can get them if you can get them to make that low commitment where they don't have to have necessarily urgency, and upsell them, and then you put scarcity and urgency in that upsell, then maybe you can close them there.
Okay, yeah. So it sounds like, so this is a lead magnet I'm talking about, right? Where I talk
Yes.
about it's not an ebook, it's just a lead magnet, few
Yep.
pages of a lead magnet. So it sounds like you're saying start with the free Facebook group and then gradually go up. So then offer the group and then maybe
I think when they click off of that lead magnet,
yeah.
you got to make an offer. I think you got to make a
On
paid
the
offer.
success page.
Yeah. So let's say they go through the lead magnet. When they read it, they need to click on something and then go to an offer. So I guess you could probably make the offer on the success page. You could do a sales video there, personal video, and say, hey, thanks for, I can't wait for you to get our lead magnet. Can't wait for you to dive in and to learn these things. But first, I want to tell you about something I'm doing. And then that's when you make the pitch. So yeah, you could do it on the success page. Autoplay the video, say, hey, thanks for it. Thanks, man. I really appreciate your trust. And now I want to tell you about something very special that I do. I only work with 5 people, at one at a time, and I only have a few openings. I'd like to help you, whatever you say, right? You could probably get ChatGPT to help you with the pitch. But you could do it on the success page. Yep.
So I'll put the Facebook group in the lead magnet, but I'll also make a link for it on the success page. But then I also have a video. And on that video, am I selling them to the group or to the private program?
Private. Yep.
Right.
Upsell them immediately. Let them see that offer to the private. And if they don't want that, then they can see the other stuff. But
Oh,
yeah, I would.
in the lead magnet. Okay, so mention the Facebook and the group, the writing lab, which is like $10 a month, or a session. So put the Facebook and the group work in the lead magnet.
Yeah,
the
yeah. So
video,
yeah.
okay,
Yep.
but the
The
video
low
should
ticket
be,
offer, low
yeah,
ticket offer goes in the lead magnet.
okay.
If they buy that low ticket, that's where you upsell them into the higher ticket. So it's in the funnel, right? So they're going to
Mm.
go through the funnel and they're going to see that higher ticket offer. It should be the first offer that they see.
Okay, so yeah, I think I got it. So group and Facebook and the lead magnet, and then on the success page, create a video that talks about my private work with them. Right?
I would not. Okay, let me take a step back. I would not make that offer to them until they paid you something. Right?
Oh,
Let them see the low ticket. Let them get them in there. Let them if they give you whatever, it could be $5, $10, whatever they give you. Right? They make the low ticket, upsell them immediately to the because they've proven they will trust you enough to give you money. Right? They've proven that. So now we're going to test it. We're going to say, well, hey, you know what? I've got this, and then give them a time deadline, and then and then let them see that high ticket offer, and then you continually to kind of you can drip on them about that, right? Um, this is where the direct response comes in, where you do the, hey, I'm getting worried about you. I made that offer to you a couple of days ago, whatever the case is, right? So
okay. I've just come up with, I'm not, I've come up with an alternative that may not be done because it's not the traditional way, but there are some people who don't like groups and don't want to convey anything about their personal life in a group setting and just want private. And so it seems to me, because it's it's being vulnerable and talking about your feelings, I think in the video on the success page, I need to tell them about both the group program, which is like cheap, and the private work, and say, if you don't like groups, then consider working with me privately. I know that's not the usual way of doing this in the online market space, but as a therapist,
we don't know anything until we test it.
exactly.
We
And
so
I
the
think
only way we can,
as a therapist, I always offer both. I offer private and I offer group, because some people like the group and hate the private, and vice versa. So I always need to offer both at the same time and let them choose.
just
Yeah,
just be
yeah,
tracking.
yeah.
If it works and it converts, then keep it, give it some time and see how much traffic goes there. And if nobody's responding, then do something different. But I would try it. Test your instincts, is
Mm-hmm.
what I say.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank
Yep.
you. That's been really helpful.
All right. Okay, everybody. It is 7:49. And so I guess if you folks are, unless anybody else has a question, um, we will cut out. Any other questions? Well, everybody, I appreciate you all hanging out with me here. I like to be able to answer questions when I can. I know I'm typically training on these calls, but I hope that this was helpful for you. And if not, make sure that you go to the plrshow.com/insiders, and that is where that's where I've got the best that I have to offer to you. Okay, thank you, Helene. Good talking to you and John. I appreciate you all. Appreciate you all wishing me happy Father's Day, and I'll do the best I can. Have a great night, everybody, and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.